Yo guys, what is going on, and welcome back to the first episode of Best 5 Class Setup Sunday. I'm not sure what to call it yet, but it's going to be something like that. Basically, every single Sunday, or maybe even Saturday, I'm going to be basically uploading a top 5 class video, just so you guys can be in the loop and all that kind of stuff, in what's in at the moment, what is dominating the game at the moment, and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I'm going to be uploading a video like this every single Sunday, or maybe every single Saturday. I'm not 100% sure yet on my plans, but it will be one of those weekend days, and it will be a top 5 class video every single Sunday or Saturday, and I will also have a double upload every single Saturday and Sunday from now on, just so I can get more videos out to you guys. But yeah, this is the first episode of Best Class Up for Sunday. I don't really know what to call it at the moment, but you guys will see by the title of what it will probably be called. But anyway, yeah, let's just get straight into this. So the first one is going to be the PKM class. Now the PKM is a LMG, and it is extremely good. It's probably the best weapon in the game right now, like no lie. If you stick the correct attachments on this weapon, you guys are going to be absolutely dominating with this weapon. Now, as you guys saw, that was the first attachment. The next attachment is going to be some kind of reflex sight. Now the reflex sight is completely up to you what you actually use, because there is such a huge variety of different sights. So you guys can use whatever takes your fancy. Anyway, next up is going to be the no stock attachment. This increases my movement speed and my aim down sight speed, and obviously that is very good with an LMG, because LMGs are heavy and slow weapons, so you want to be as quickly as possible, and that is why I am using this snatch grip attachment as well. As you can see, the pro is to have a faster aim down sight speed, which is amazing, especially for an LMG. You guys are going to want to have this on LMGs just because it'll make you faster, and being faster is going to be very, very helpful. As you guys can see, this next one is kind of up to you what you use. Personally, I like to go ahead and use the sleight of hand perk, but if you guys want to, you guys can of course go ahead and stick on extended mags instead. It is completely up to you, of course. Whatever you guys want to go ahead and use, I do recommend you guys using sleight of hand though, because on the PKM especially, the reload time is very, very slow. Next up is going to be the perks, and I like to use double time on this weapon because once again it is an LMG, so I will be slow with it. So using double time will help me have a longer sprint time, which allows me to be quicker around the map. And next up is going to be the ghost perk and then the battle hardened perk, just so I can survive those stuns and all of that kind of stuff. Next up is going to be the P90 class. I like to use the Forge Attack Retribution barrel for that damage range, plus bullet velocity as a plus, and the recoil control. And of course, once again, I like to go ahead and use some kind of reflex sight, and like I said before, you guys can go ahead and use whatever sight you guys want to, but personally I like to either use the Solo Zero sight, the Viper reflex sight, or the Cronin LP945 I believe it's called. So yeah, feel free to use whatever you guys want to. This is the next attachment here, the Fly Strap Stock. This basically just speeds up the weapon a little bit, which is very, very nice, especially for an SMG, because they are made for rushing. So when I use this weapon, I do like to rush. I like to get in their spawn and get as many kills as possible, so this is going to allow me to do that. And next up, it's going to be the stippled grip tape attachment. Now this is really the same as the last one. As you can see, it increases my sprint to fire speed and increases my just speed all round. So once again, I recommend you guys using the sleight of hand perk on this, just because there isn't actually an extended mags option, but the reload time on this SMG is really, really slow for some reason, and a lot of the time when I didn't use this sleight of hand perk, I was dying a lot. So I do recommend you guys sticking it on, and you guys will be doing a lot better. Next up for the perks is going to be the EOD perk, Ghost perk, and Battle Hardened. I just want to quickly mention as well, for the lethal and tactical, on no matter what class I use, I will always use Claymore, and I will always use Stim Shot. Stim Shot is a great tactical. I do recommend using it. I don't recommend using any of the other ones. Just use that one, and trust me, you guys will not regret it. Anyway, next up is going to be the M4A1 class up. On this, I like to use the FFS 12.4 inch Predator barrel. This makes my sound suppression as a plus, and it also makes the aimed out sight speed faster, which is also very, very good. Now, this is very, very good in my opinion, because I do like to use suppressors on this weapon, but that barrel is a lot better in my opinion. Next up, once again, is going to be some kind of optic, and like I've said before, you guys can go ahead and use whatever optic you want to, but personally, that one is my favourite. Now, this bit here is kind of up to you. Now, I like to use the no stock one, or I also like to use any of the first two, depending on what map I am playing. The first one and the second one, yeah, it just depends on what map you are playing. If I'm on a small map, I will use no stock. So if I'm playing Shoot House 24/7, I will use no stock. But if I'm on a longer range map or like Ground War, I will go ahead and stick the first one on instead. So once again, it's completely up to you what you use on the stock attachment, but those are my two ones that I like to use. As you can see, this is the next one, the Ranger foregrip, just to help me get a better accuracy and less recoil. And then next up is the stippled grip tape, which increases my aim down sight speed and my sprint to fire speed, so it increases the time it takes to aim in, and of course it increases the time it takes me to shoot after sprinting. Now I just want to quickly mention that you guys can of course go ahead and swap the optic sight with extended mags if you guys want to, because the iron sights on this weapon are actually very, very nice, but my personal preference is that I like to go ahead and simply use the Cronen sight. Next up is going to be the MP7 class. Now this weapon has been one of my favourite weapons recently, and I am absolutely loving using it. As you guys can see, the first attachment is the monolithic suppressor. It makes my sound suppressed, and it also increases my damage range, which is very, very nice. Next up is going to be the FSS Recon barrel. This increases my damage range, bullet velocity, and my recoil control, so it's basically going to give me extra range, and it's also going to give me less recoil, which is very, very nice. And next up is going to be the no stock attachment, once again just so I can aim down the sight faster, and it also gives me faster movement speed, which is very nice with an SMG. Next up is going to be the 60 round mags. Once again, this is my personal preference. You guys don't have to use the 60 round mags. If you guys want to, you can use sleight of hand instead. It is completely up to you, but personally I like to have more ammo, because more ammo is just a lot nicer, because you don't have to reload as much. And as you can see, the last one is the stippled grip tape, for once again you get to sprint to fire speed is faster, and your aim down sight speed is faster as well, which is very, very nice on any weapon in the game, just so you guys can aim in quicker. Now this is my go-to shoot house class, and that is why I have kill chain on. Kill chain basically makes your score streaks count towards your next kill streak. So let's say for example you get a VTOL and you get a few kills of it, it's going to count towards your next score streak, and that is why I use it, because on shoot house it is very, very overpowered, so I do recommend you guys giving it a go. Anyway, next up on the list is going to be the Bison class. First of all, I like to use the monolithic suppressor once again. This suppresses my sound and increases my damage range, so it is very, very good, especially considering it is an SMG. Getting that extra range on an SMG is extremely helpful, because you guys can obviously get those further range kills, and SMGs is meant for close range kills, so the range on SMGs aren't going to be too great, but if you can increase the damage range, then it is going to be very, very good. Next up is going to be the last barrel, which increases my aim down sight speed. Next up is going to be once again a sight, and you guys know what I'm going to say. You can of course go ahead and use whatever sight you guys want to, but as you guys see, I'm going to be using the Viper Reflex sight myself. Next up is going to be the skeleton stock, which increases my aim walking speed, increases my movement speed in general, and increases my aim down sight speed. And then lastly but not least, I have the stippled grip tape. And then lastly, I have all of the usual perks and tacticals, etc, etc. Anyway, thank you for watching. That has been it for today's video. Make sure to give these classes a go, and hopefully I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.